Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be looking at some quick little love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading, and there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is this Desert Rose Selenite. Group 2 is the Sunshine Quartz point. And group 3 is the Aragonite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to kind of clear out the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get right into the messages. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Desert Rose Selenite. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks. And let's take a look and see what does your person want you to know from their higher self right now for Group 1. All right, they say, my love for you is as deep as the ocean. So this could be kind of an emotional time for this person. They could be sitting in this energy of nostalgia, reminiscing on better times between you, the good times you shared if you were at a distance and no contact or separation, or the communication between the both of you is just really strained at this point in time, thinking very fondly, maybe tapping into their heart space in a way that's kind of uncharacteristic for this person. They could be kind of spending a lot of time alone, just having to process their thoughts and feelings, some realizations, some epiphanies that have come to them and is causing them to maybe look back on the past with you in the connection with fresh eyes. They also say, can you feel me with you? So with all of that energy of this person sitting in nostalgia, it feels like something where it's almost sending this energetic ripple towards you. You might be dreaming about this person a lot, experiencing some kind of telepathy with them, maybe feeling their energy around you. And this feels very much like kind of a mirrored experience that even if this person is not necessarily on the forefront of your mind, you're picking up on the sensation vibrations from them, which is kind of generating then thoughts within you, maybe curiosity, thinking about them again, trying to feel into them again. And so there is this reciprocity energetically, which is being experienced. They're feeling you around them. You're perhaps feeling them around you. You're both dreaming of each other. You might be both seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities related to each other. This can also really relate to somebody who is sending loving thoughts and vibrations your way intentionally. Almost those feelings of love that for whatever reason they just don't feel ready or able to speak or to communicate to you in a 3D sense at this point in time. And they also say, through my lessons, I've become stronger and wiser. So this person could have had to kind of close out a lot of cycles, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of things maybe falling away from their life in the recent past, which has kind of gifted them this space, this time and space to really dig into the core truth of themselves, to be able to evaluate relationships in their life, even the connection with you, with sort of these fresh eyes, as these lessons have kind of become clear to them. Maybe illusions or facades that they had kind of believed in or participated in as far as other people in their life, that really crumbling away, some kind of truth being revealed, maybe about people's intentions around them. This could even relate to friends or family that had maybe discouraged the connection previously. And this person really having relied on those opinions, but something is becoming clear that maybe those people were kind of operating from an energy of distortion, or, just kind of almost this pedestal that certain people or their opinions were kind of put on, that in some way has kind of crumbled. These people have sort of fallen from grace in some way in this person's mind, this person's perspective, and they're starting to really question why they had forfeited so much of their autonomy or invested so much in their actions and choices in life and kind of living according to the standards that were prescribed by others, or really feeding into sort of the thoughts or the words or opinions that were injected by others into this situation, that were in a direct contrast to what this person was really feeling on the internal plane, this draw to you, this magnetization. And so there could also be some situations in terms of their finances, their work, maybe other circumstances in their life relating to health. Maybe they've had some kind of a health scare, or something has really happened where they've just had to really take this time, almost forced into this sort of this hanged man energy of having their hands tied, not being able to really do much to change their circumstances for a period of time, almost like being on ice, so to speak, to where they have nothing but time on their hands to really sit and think and reflect. And kind of in tandem with that, you might also be picking up on some heavy energy, some energies of defeat or loss, even these tears that are being cried about other circumstances in their life that are kind of falling apart or crumbling away, sort of clearing that space for newness to be birthed, for newness to grow, something more authentic and in alignment with this person's true self, with their heart. And kind of part and parcel with that is, again, this sort of energy of reflection on the connection. Maybe really yearning for you, reaching out for you energetically as well at this time, as kind of like a support system. If you're in full no contact, this person could really be kind of wishing that they had the ability, or maybe hadn't closed that door of communication between the both of you. Really wishing that they could get your opinion about this, or knowing you'd be someone that would kind of support them, or maybe understand what they're going through, a shoulder to cry on. And they might find themselves at a loss for that in their material world at this time, which can be part of that illusion that is sort of crumbling in regards to other people in their life that maybe at one point in time they thought had their best interests, were really loyal and would stick with them through thick and thin. And now those thin times have come, those challenges have come, and there could be people that are, distancing themselves or not really being there as a support system for this person. So it's causing a lot of kind of deep reflection and sort of this internal, almost like taking stock of what they have chosen to invest their energy in, what they've kind of surrounded themselves with, even lifestyle choices that may now be catching up with this person and has kind of caused this downtime for them, this loss of opportunity, or even kind of compromised their health to some degree, to where there's really some kind of an awakening, a wake-up call that may have happened for them, that they're starting to see things, this connection and other aspects of their life with fresh eyes. So let's see, what else does this person want to say from their higher self group 1? All right, they say, you bring out the best in me because you see the best in me. So this is again that energy of really realizing in some way, something becoming apparent to this person, that you've had their best interest in mind, that you are somebody that they could really count on, that they could really rely on to support them in an authentic manner, in an unconditional manner that maybe others in their life are not really demonstrating to them, or, you know, when that was kind of put to the test, others having failed that test, not really being there, or kind of falling away, revealing kind of the conditional love or the conditional connection that existed. Somebody who's, you know, somebody or people who are not really there through thick and thin, but only in kind of when times are good, when times are bright, then they're, you know, these people want to kind of be around this person. But when difficulties arise, then they kind of slink away, make up excuses, distance themselves. And so this is something that, again, this perspective this person is having of maybe having made the wrong choice to move away from this connection, to allow the opinions of others or even fear and doubt to cause them to close the door between you in the past. Okay, they also say, your presence gave me such a reality check on my life. So that was just coming out with some kind of reality check that has happened, some kind of a humbling experience that has happened for this person. Maybe even when this person closed the door, you might have kind of been involved in some kind of a runner-chaser dynamic for a period of time. But I feel for a lot of you, you've kind of discontinued that pursuit, that chase. You in some way, no matter how large or small, have taken that energy and redirected the focus onto self, to filling your own cup, to kind of immersing yourself, bathing yourself in that love which you had hoped to receive from this person. That might have even kind of sent out a shockwave energetically that sort of jolted this person to where they came to this point of realizing that this energy, this pressure, this energy of pursuit that was always kind of, you know, right behind them, right in tow, following right along with them, or, you know, putting that pressure on them to keep moving forward. When suddenly that's gone, then they have to stop and turn around and say, what are they running from? And to find you, you know, maybe kind of focusing again on other things or taking a different approach to the situation. It's this wide open expanse that has then opened up to where this person is then able to kind of go inside and do some reflection to kind of unpack that. What were they running from? What was so difficult to accept or to embrace about maybe even the intensity of this connection, the nature of this connection, these circumstances surrounding this connection? Why, if other people's opinions or the pressures from circumstances outside themselves, if that caused them to make a choice in the past to, you know, opt for something else over this connection, to kind of put this connection on the back burner, push it away, close it off. Why was that choice made? What was that motivated from? Feelings of regret, you know, that can indicate that an action that was taken in the past was not really in alignment with this person's authenticity, but was perhaps very much fear-based. And I feel a lot of that is really coming to the surface for this person with that kind of that energy of tears. A lot of this could be very harsh and deep realizations, not only in terms of this connection, but other areas of their life where they may have chosen the path of fear over the past of kind of love and trust to sort of make decisions and navigate their life, and kind of reflecting on the circumstances that has generated for themselves, doors which have been closed, or kind of a passageway which has narrowed, taking them further away from sort of this wish fulfillment, from what resonates with them. And this feels for a lot of you like somebody who is starting to come to the realization that the life they're living feels very inauthentic. It feels very much like somebody who is segmented, almost like there's this persona that they depict, you know, a visage that they want to put on so that others will accept them. And then internally, there's this whole other layer to this person. There's this whole other aspect to this person that they have really maybe been shamed into kind of keeping closeted, keeping secreted within. They kind of feared that they wouldn't be accepted or as well liked if they truly expressed who they are and all their quirkiness and kind of their peculiarities. And so it feels like something where with this connection, there was a sense of you really seeing beyond those masks, and maybe that terrifying or triggering this person a little bit, feeling this kind of this comfort, this breath of fresh air of somebody finally seeing them, seeing beyond those illusions, but at the same time, kind of the fears of the ramifications of that. Like, what if you see in too closely? What if you see something you don't like? How are you able to just kind of perceive them beyond this caricature that they have tried for a very long time and very well to present to the world? They also say your touch is electric. So they're thinking back about, time shared even when you were in physical proximity, not even necessarily with, physical contact, but just kind of this resonance between the both of you, this energy, this force, this electricity that exists, kind of seeing beyond the illusions and the kind of the first impressions right down into the core of one another. And on some level, this definitely coming into proximity with you has awakened something. It has activated something within this person, kind of that reference to that reality check, that humbling. Something has really shifted within them. It's almost like experiencing a new dynamic of the potential to connect with another human being on a level that goes beyond just kind of surface or being very conditional, but kind of this very genuine and pure and kind of this depth of connection that they may have been very unused to with others and accustomed to. And it's something which at this point in time, through whatever is happening in their life, this kind of window of opportunity that they have, this time and space they've been gifted to really do some introspection, they're missing that. They're missing this very unique connection that they could have kind of pushed away, sort of feared the otherness of it, that now they're really craving that, kind of a return to that, coming closer to that. This feels like somebody who has really, again, if you've stopped sort of that energy of actively pursuing them, this feels like a runner who is kind of shifting direction, switching that trajectory, changing course, at least in their mind, starting to reconsider and reevaluate the circumstances, maybe what triggered them to bolt in the first place or push this connection away, coming into contact and facing some shadows within themselves, some unresolved wounds or things that were really triggered from the depths of their soul by this connection, even in a very kind of benign or almost energetic sense. This might not have even been any kind of direct pressure you put on them, things that were said or done, but just the interaction between the both of you, this electric energy between the both of you, really bringing a lot of things to the surface for this person that they might not have been ready to deal with. They might have been really suppressing, avoiding, or denying these things, but nevertheless, the time was right. The circumstances were ripe through the two of you encountering one another in this incarnation for this kind of stirring, this shakeup, this kind of breaking down in order to be reformed to occur on the internal planes, and also most likely in some ways or even major ways in their kind of material world, in the life that they have constructed for themselves and are leading. So I'm going to get the final 3 messages for you, group 1, from this person's higher self. Let's see, what do they want to say? All right, they say, sometimes you don't listen and it really upsets me. So this could be somebody who has a difficult time really communicating authentically their feelings. This could be one of the kind of shadow aspects that they have been faced with and they're having to work on, in terms of not making their needs or even what is making them uncomfortable, maybe some boundaries, some areas that were kind of open wounds within them, not making this clear, and instead just kind of operating from that energy of reaction, flinching away, pushing this connection away instead of taking that opportunity to really unpack some of that, or to kind of build and develop this deeper connection, trusting that following that feeling to open up and be vulnerable could have been the source of so much growth for them. This is something where, in hindsight, they're learning to really listen to themselves as well, listen to kind of the call of their heart and sort of quiet down those outside voices, that pressure even that is stemming from kind of an internal narrative or dialogue that really is causing them to look at love and connections in a particular way, or some kind of an image they feel that they must live up to. Somebody who's kind of rewriting that script within themselves, kind of throwing all the rules that they were previously operating by out the window, in order to really listen to that truth of their heart, figure out that truth of their soul and their authenticity, and how to then generate a life or conditions moving forward that are more in alignment with that in general in their life, and also as it pertains to this connection. They also say, please don't leave me, stay. So if you are in no contact, this is really referring to this person, again, thinking about you, kind of tapping into that energy, really almost clinging to your energy in a way. It might at times feel kind of overwhelming, just this rush of all of a sudden you're seeing all these signs, you're feeling this person energetically. It might be quite a difference from what you experienced with them previously in terms of someone who was a little aloof, kind of cold or closed off, and this really giving way to this warmth within them. And from their higher self, they're really encouraging you to kind of trust in that to some degree. Trust that you're feeling that way for a reason. There is a shift occurring within this person that in time might possibly, result in some kind of a shift in the circumstances between you and the material world. But this is also really talking about somebody who has kind of changed that trajectory, who's done that 180-degree turn, gone from the energy of the runner to now they are in pursuit. Now there's this kind of urge or this desire through this kind of clarity that has come to really hold on to cherish, to again kind of cling to this electric energy between the two of you, this connection in whatever way they are able to at this point in time, which most likely is in some form of an energetic sense. So thinking about you, really tapping into that, daydreaming about that, holding on to those memories, really trying to recapture those good times, the potential, even kind of the tangible chemistry that you both once shared with each other, as kind of an anecdote to maybe some of these heavier sensations of loss and kind of transformation that are occurring in other areas of their life. They also say, I need time to work things out. Just know that I want you. Please be patient. So again, that energy of really changing course, something within this person's mental space, within their heart space, has really given way. Any kind of resistance or stubbornness, some kind of a resolve that they had previously that, they weren't interested in a relationship. You're not the kind of person they were looking for. They needed to find something else, somebody more well-matched, somebody that, met this or that criteria for them, or fit into kind of a certain mold or an expectation. It feels that all of that in a major way has given way and is starting to really give way to that truth, to this person accepting that truth and realization that you are what they have been looking for, almost in ways that you fulfill things for this person they didn't even know were lacking for them. You fulfill kind of these criteria maybe in more subtle ways, that are kind of at the deeper, at the soul level than sort of this picture they had painted, or kind of these expectations or these categories, a certain type of person that they may have been conditioned to or had kind of convinced themselves was the one for them. And this is all broadening to where this person is starting to appreciate kind of those deeper layers, that richness between the both of you on an energetic level, which is something that is unmatched by other connections in their life, either currently or that they have been in previously. And so this is somebody who's kind of going through this transformation from the inside out. A lot of these tears, this catharsis, it's clearing away that debris. This is somebody who's facing these shadows, learning to come to terms with these things, forgiving themselves, forgiving others, and learning to kind of accept their past, accept their mistakes or their wrong turns, and recognizing those things as simply detours to kind of take the longer route, the wider path, the scenic route, if you will, back to the same destination. This feels like somebody who is course correcting their life in a major way. And so for a lot of you, this can definitely then ripple out. The deeper this person goes into themselves, the more they come to terms with their truth, with who they are, with what they have around them, who they have around them that kind of fits that truth and that goal that they have now kind of formulated and are looking toward, or working toward, or reaching toward, kind of clearing away and letting things fall away that don't really fit that don't uplift them, that don't support them in that version of who they are at their core, at their most authentic self. And so that work that's done internally, that can definitely then ripple out to having a changed effect. Maybe somebody that reaches out, even kind of initiates some kind of a spark of friendship, or delivers some kind of an apology, or just you're feeling, even energetically, feeling them in a more tender way, feeling a generosity of energy as opposed to kind of this coldness. You might also, again, feel kind of that influx, that wave of energy, where at one time you were pursuing them, but now it's kind of the pursuit has reversed, that kind of that energy, that polarity has switched, it has flipped, and now they are the one investing time in thoughts of you, investing this desire, this yearning, directing that your way, maybe trying to manifest a new opportunity with you, or even work up the courage to create some kind of a fresh start between you in the future. So I'm going to get some initials now. Group 1, this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got F, V, W, Y, I, J, Q, G, L, and C. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them in my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the Sunshine Aura Quartz point. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks. Let's take a look and see, what does your person want you to know from their higher self for group 2. Okay, they say, I really do care. So if you've been in a no contact or separation kind of situation with this person and wondering if they think about you, if they still have feelings for you, if any of this was real or was this just in your head, this is definitely coming through from their higher self, as they do have feelings for you. They feel the intensity, they feel the chemistry, they feel the bond. This could be something where somebody is not really good at putting words to feelings, somebody who kind of has an avoidant personality when they are triggered by perhaps the precipice of deep intimacy presenting itself to them, somebody who runs from that, is really running from some unhealed wounds, some unresolved issues within themselves. And so this could even come off as somebody who is sort of blocked off in the heart chakra, somebody who, you know, is kind of shies away from love, or is very kind of minimalistic in how they express that. Somebody who might not be very comfortable even, or who hasn't crossed that precipice of saying the words "I love you," and so it's left a lot of confusion and doubt for you about if you're both on the same page. If, you know, again, no contact or separation, you know, were they able to just kind of move on without a care, without a thought? Is it just completely out of sight, out of mind? And I'm definitely getting that it's quite the opposite of that. They care very immensely for you, and it's something which they're having a difficult time, or have had a difficult time in the past, really expressing properly. They also say be patient. So this is somebody who might be trying to work on kind of their communication skills, their love language, somebody who is starting to really become cognizant of those wounds within themselves that have caused them to kind of push wish fulfillment away, to run from love rather than into the arms of love. This could really, there could be some other things that are being triggered. I feel for a lot of you, this could be some deep kind of inner child wounds that are coming to the surface. Maybe you know, some information that has just kind of come to this person in the form of kind of divine intervention, something that, you know, just pops up on through the algorithm in their YouTube channel, for example, or some kind of a podcast, some kind of an article that this person has, you know, kind of divinely been led to, been guided to listen to or to read, and they're starting to have a lot of resonance with what's coming through. Someone who's really starting to kind of take a deeper kind of lens, or a wider perspective of who they are, why they behave the way they do, what's at the root of that. Somebody who is kind of entering into this journey of introspection, or is in some phase of it already, trying to kind of figure out where some of their traits and behaviors, where that stems from. Maybe as they're kind of even working through issues, perhaps even with family, or issues that they had with a parental figure from their childhood. They're starting to come to this greater realization within themselves about how kind of those experiences have really carried forth throughout the years and kind of into their adult life, and how that has sort of stunted their ability to give and receive love in a healthy and reciprocal manner. So somebody who's in kind of this process of becoming, coming into this fuller awareness of self, and kind of learning how to move forward from that, how to pick up the pieces from that in a lot of ways in their life, and kind of learn some new coping mechanisms or skills or strategies. And they also say, you are my twin flame. So that can be a confirmation for those of you that resonate as a twin flame, that this person definitely recognizes that. If they don't have the language for that, if they aren't familiar with that term, then it could be something where they're starting to recognize that there is something more to having encountered you, having met you, what was really triggered, what was really instigated within them, you know, kind of propelled you both in opposite directions, despite this deep yearning and urge and familiarity to connect with one another. Kind of those wounds, or those deeply kind of buried, that subconscious pain within this person that is kind of coming to the surface. The more they're doing this kind of deep shadow work within themselves, they're experiencing results, they're seeing results, they're still feeling this connection to you across time and space. Somebody who is sensing, perhaps consciously, perhaps kind of unconsciously, it's just sort of resonating at a soul level, that you're both supporting and guiding and encouraging each other down this path of kind of personal discovery, personal empowerment, moving beyond the limitations of self and belief systems, to step into that most authentic version of self, to kind of rise out of the ashes of circumstances that maybe for a long time had kind of crushed both of you, or kept you both in kind of a limited ability to, again, give and receive love in sort of a healthy and reciprocal way. For others of you, kind of with that idea of information this person is coming across, they may have also come across ideas, things just kind of falling into their path, you know, as far as videos about twin flames or soulmates even, that they're starting to kind of look into that. Maybe somebody who's starting to explore, why are they still feeling this, all this emotion for you? Why are they still being reminded of you? Why are they still, you know, dreaming of you maybe after some time has passed? Just any number of things, any number of rabbit holes that they've gone down. And for a lot of you, you've kind of stumbled upon this concept, or maybe resonating with that. This could even be somebody that is watching twin flame readings, twin flame videos on YouTube's, or even pick a card readings. trying to kind of make sense of things, to navigate that journey, to sort of check in and get some kind of reassurances while they're at this point in their life and of their growth, of still needing to do a lot of that work within themselves, not necessarily having that courage or feeling ready or able to reach out at this time in the 3D, but energetically there is thought, there is focus being directed to this, there is interest that is being focused in a more precise and acute way onto this connection, back into, you know, their heart, into kind of the feelings that they have for you, and sort of this otherworldly or next level love that they experience with you. So let's see, what else do they want to say from their higher self, group 2? All right, they say, without you, mornings are the worst. So this can talk about the two of you meeting in dreams, meeting on that astral realm very frequently, and this person waking up and almost feeling you energetically with them. A sense of kind of elation at having met up with you so tangibly in that sense, but also kind of that sense of despair and of melancholy at the fact that they find themselves alone, wishing that they could kind of, you know, just stay in bed, stay asleep, stay in that realm of dreams, kind of beyond all the complications and everything that was said and everything that was kind of withheld from you in this material plane. They also say, so many songs remind me of you. So they and you could be getting a lot of messages, communication through song lyrics. If you had a song that was like your song, or maybe a playlist you sent one another, songs you sent one another, you know, even events you went to, concerts you went to, some kind of a song that was always playing when you two were together, for example. It's something that this person is really turning to that. They're listening to that. Maybe listening to that with sort of a fresh perspective, kind of feeling into that heart space, seeking to replicate those good times between the both of you. Through what is kind of being uncovered and worked through, kind of this shadow work, it feels that also memories of this connection are a source of sanctuary for this person. They could also be kind of trying to unplug from the world, or kind of segregate themselves from a lot of input that's coming in, maybe needing to take breaks from that deep and intense shadow work to just, you know, put on their headphones, turn on the stereo, turn on the speakers, and just again unplug, kind of disappear into the music for a while. There could be a lot of healing that's taking place as well, maybe some sad songs, some love songs that they're listening to that's kind of sparking these tears, sort of cleansing that heart area, that heart space. You know, somebody who could also be very kind of musically inclined. This could be somebody who, you know, is inspired by this connection, is writing music, is inspired to kind of pick up that instrument, pick up that pen, you know, get on that computer, whatever kind of form of music that it is that they're doing, or that they've done previously. Somebody who's really starting to be inspired to create again through that kind of twin flame energy, tapping into that very kind of uplifting, that source energy, that creative energy, that kundalini energy that is really inspiring them to kind of take these rough feelings that they have, and maybe gems of wisdom that they've uncovered, and even if they're not able to translate that out into words, somebody who vibrationally is kind of conveying that through music, even kind of doing a lot of healing within themselves. I'm almost feeling kind of like primal scream therapy, but almost in the sense of somebody who is really purging a lot energetically from within themselves, maybe by singing, by doing karaoke, or just playing some kind of an instrument, to really get out those kind of molecules of vibration within themselves that are so deeply entrenched that they don't necessarily have the ability to communicate to others. They don't have words to put to that, but it's, you know, through that vibration of music they're able to kind of address that and release that from where it's really been stuck and hovering in kind of their energy body and their awareness. They also say, I miss your scent, your love, and your energy. So more reference to energy there, feeling you around them, dreaming about you, longing for you, really missing that closeness. I feel that this, you know, through kind of maybe a sort of an energy of the dark night of the soul, or some things that are coming up for clearing for this person at this time, they're starting to also recognize, in tandem with that twin flame card, how this connection is really a source of strength, of inspiration. They could be looking to changes that you've made in your life, kind of the ways in which you've navigated your journey since the two of you were last together. If they're able to watch you on social media, they could be doing that. If you have some kind of a public platform, maybe you do something in conjunction with the twin flame community or something about spirituality, and this person is kind of, on the sidelines watching, maybe kind of anonymously, getting inspiration from that. Even looking at social media posts that you make and recognizing that change, kind of remembering who you were, maybe what you focused on, or the vibration that you were putting out when you were last together, understanding kind of the depths and the despair and sort of the crumbling that took place during this kind of separation period, and then kind of somebody who's sort of marveling at the way in which you've reconstructed yourself, you've rebuilt yourself, you've kind of risen from those ashes. If this is somebody or where they aren't able to watch you on social media, let's say you don't have a social media presence, for example, this is somebody who's really tapping into you energetically. You're very much entwined with this person. They're feeling those ebbs and flows within you, just as you are able to perceive these things within them. And your energy is very much a source of inspiration to this person. This feels like a situation where the work you have done internally, it kind of opens a portal or a door for this person energetically, kind of an invitation that, there's more than whatever they had become accustomed to. There was a way out of whatever vibration they had just kind of resolved themselves to. This is it. This is just how it is. So definitely, not to underestimate the work that you are doing that work internally, stepping into that abundance mindset for yourself first and foremost, but understanding as well that it does have an energetic ramification upon this person. They are sensing that, they are perceiving that, they're picking up on that, and even if they're not consciously aware of this dynamic, it is doing something to kind of motivate them, to encourage them, to kind of urge them forward to the work that they need to do, to unpack their truth from where they have deeply embedded it within themselves, to do that transformational work, that growth work, that evolution work of the soul that the two of you signed on to really instigate within each other, and also to support each other through in energetic and other ways in this lifetime. So I'm going to get the final 3 messages for you, group 2, from this person's higher self. Okay, they say, I regret a lot of the things I have said and done. I apologize. So this for me is really tying in with kind of that idea of twin flame, where this person could have really kind of pushed the connection away, rejected you in the past, denied having feelings, or just had really run from the intensity of this. Somebody who wasn't really ready to open their eyes to something more than whatever they had come to the point of resolution within themselves, was kind of the full scope of experience, the full potential of love, what love could be, how it should look like. And through sort of the change that has happened within this person, through this kind of uncovering that is occurring within them, they're coming to this realization of sort of this unique and persistent bond that the two of you share. They're recognizing this connection as a source of inspiration and strength for them, a source of support, kind of the vibration between the both of you being that embodiment of unconditional love, kind of the constancy of that, regardless of what has been said or done or is happening currently in the material circumstances. Somebody who is starting to perceive, who is starting to kind of shift their eyes in a different direction, those internal eyes, those exterior, physical eyes that are able to pick up on signs and reminders. And again, that kind of that internal eye, that third eye that is able to receive information energetically and is the seat and source of inspiration and divine guidance and wisdom. And this is something where this is a person who has gained a lot of perspective, is gaining a lot of perspective about themselves, about you, about this connection, about choices that were made in the past, and sort of the lessons that came from that. Somebody who is starting to reflect on ways in which they could do better in the future, do better for themselves, do better for others, do better by themselves and by you in this connection. Somebody who also maybe in this process of kind of starting to formulate or consider reaching out to you with an apology to kind of resume that closeness, maybe hopefully kind of reestablish the lines of communication, of connection with you in a more tangible sense. They also say, I really don't know how to approach you. So that is why it's taking me some time. So again, that energy of maybe somebody wanting to reach out, to kind of, give that apology, to provide that vindication, to kind of bring you up to speed with things that have changed in their life, let you know some of the revelations that they've had, things that have been uncovered, things that have fallen away from their life. This feels like a lot that they want to talk to you about, that they want to tell you. Somebody who's ready to open up and experience this connection in a way that they, it might have kind of frightened them or triggered them before, and so they chose to kind of move away or push away from you. But this is somebody who is, beckoning you energetically. This is somebody who is yearning for that, is thinking back on these good times, thinking back on kind of before that period of separation, when you were both just in the thick of it, both very magnetized, both very allured by each other, and really in that point of surrendering to the moment and to that experience, wanting to go back there, wanting to kind of go back there armed with the wisdom of what they have acquired through the experiences that they've had and the internal work they are doing on themselves. But somebody who almost doesn't really know how to put to words maybe everything they have experienced, kind of this deep unfolding or even kind of an awakening and an ascension journey that they are on. Depending on whatever was said or done in the past, it might not be as simple as just, hello, to open up those lines of communication. This is somebody who's in that process of really deliberating within themselves, trying to really, search deep within about words that need to be spoken, that they are able to actually follow up with consistent and clear action. They also say, I didn't mean to hurt you. So regret over what has occurred in the past, through this realization that this person has come to, of what you mean to them, how significant you are, kind of this otherworldly, this higher love that exists between the both of you, that defies time and space, time apart, and still there's this intensity. You still burn very brightly within this person's heart, depending on what kind of information they've come upon, this realizations that they're having about themselves, epiphanies, things that are clear, that are resonating for them, even about, the nature of soul connections, perhaps. All of this is really putting things into perspective. This feels like somebody who almost feels that they made a mistake, but is at that place of trying to kind of forgive themselves, knowing that mistakes are really just opportunities to do better in the future. So somebody who, again, might be planning some kind of an approach, some kind of an apology, and for some of you, this person will actually reach out in the not too distant future, with some kind of an olive branch, something that just really seeking to kind of reestablish that connection between you, in whatever way possible. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 2, this could be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got Q, U, C, G, D, Z, B, A, M, and T. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you are interested in checking those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Aragonite. So I'm going to be getting 3 different cards from 3 different decks. Let's see, what does your person want you to know from their higher self? Group 3. Okay, they say fear held me back. So this can be an explanation maybe of why this person ghosted you or ran from this connection. Something about even the energy exchange between you, kind of this intangible dynamic, being very intense, very unexpected for this person. This could have been someone who was focused on other things when you met, wasn't looking for love, maybe somebody who was in another connection, and kind of this wide open vista blasted open energetically for them when they came into contact with you, coming into their life at a very unexpected time, in a very unexpected way, to where they were very much allured and kind of drawn and pulled towards you, pulled toward making a move, or pulled toward kind of discontinuing situations or even lifestyles that kind of just no longer resonated with them. This feels like something beyond even just mere curiosity or lustful energy. This feels like something where a whole paradigm shift occurred for this person. You somehow even energetically widen this person's perspective of what is possible in terms of the depth and intensity of emotion, of connectedness between 2 people. There could have been a Kundalini awakening that occurred between you, even very spontaneously, even at a distance, even before any kind of physical contact between the both of you, that could have really, again, just kind of awakened this person to even the existence of their chakra system. This could have been someone who, wasn't really well versed in spirituality, had no idea, no concept of things like that. This connection could have really triggered some kind of a spiritual awakening for this person. A lot of things might have started crumbling, including illusions and perceptions that they had of themselves, people around them, the world around them, kind of their purpose in life, some psychic gifts that might have come online for this person, sensations that they were having, perceptions that they were having, maybe even a degree of telepathy, or, just really feeling you around them. In kind of this very uncanny way that could have, again, been very kind of intriguing, very alluring, but at the same time very terrifying for this person. Very unexpected, very much outside of this person's comfort zone, outside of their awareness. And it may have also taken this person a while to really get their bearings with that. This person could have questioned kind of their sanity, even their physical health, based on kind of these sensations of these activations, even like a heart chakra activation that was being sensed and felt physically within them. And so kind of everything in conjunction with that, it sort of caused them to sort of pull away or push this connection away as a way to kind of numb this out, or try to close off what was happening within their energetic and etheric body, that I feel was largely kind of unsuccessful. It was almost like a switch was flipped for this person. Something was really activated, and near or far, kind of this process of this person coming online to themselves in a deeper and more profound way, syncing up with the universe and with existence in a deeper and more profound way. It's something which may have slowed down in intensity, but hasn't necessarily gone away since the 2 of you have been in a process of separation. It's something which has persisted. The signs have persisted. These sensations have persisted. This process of awakening has now been set in motion for them, for the both of you, I'm feeling. And this could be somebody who, rather than leaning into that, they kind of chose the other route, to try to avoid that, to try to run from that. But it's something which has continued to follow them through the distance and through time. And they also say open your heart. So this can again talk about some kind of a heart chakra activation that has occurred within this person that could have been quite overwhelming for them, the sensations of that, everything that goes along with that. And it might have also just been something where they needed some space to really unpack things, to try to process this, to acclimate to what was happening. And instead of, kind of expressing that, or maybe expressing it in a more appropriate manner, in a manner that was clear, they could have just pushed you away, ghosted you. you, run from this connection out of just a sense of being very overwhelmed. Something really having shifted within this person to where they're starting to become more at ease with the sensations of what they're going through. They're starting to be more at ease and more comfortable with kind of this energetic bond, this dynamic between the both of you. This is somebody who almost feels that they are starting to kind of look back over their shoulder at what they had run from this connection, and is starting to kind of open themselves up even to the possibility of reconciliation, of kind of moving back in this direction, giving this another chance. Leaning into this as opposed to kind of running from this, but questioning as well, very much cognizant of what happened between you in the past, and kind of filled with a little bit of fear and doubt and questioning about if it's even possible for a fresh start, if there's any coming back from whatever happened or wherever the two of you find yourselves at this point in time. They also say it's not the right time. So again, kind of this somebody who's starting to sort of look over their shoulder, look back, reflect a little bit about what happened. Also feeling they need more time to kind of unpack and process what is happening to them, what has been sparked and awakened within them by this connection. Somebody who might also be kind of fighting that wall of fear to return, to speak up, to speak out, to make their presence known, to deliver some kind of an apology as well. Very unsure about how you would receive them, if there is any possibility to make things better, or if communication from them would only make the situation worse or would lead to some kind of a rejection. So somebody who's kind of battling that, kind of the inclination to act, and also this urge to just continue to press forward and kind of leave this connection as best they can in the past. So let's see, what else do they want to say, group 3, and their higher self. Okay, so we have, I'm not sure I'm strong enough to face you. So again, that kind of barrier of fear, that wall of fear, this desire, this urge to, maybe lean into this connection, to give this another chance, to course correct from whatever direction they had headed in, but not really in this, not fully confident of that, not really sure that they have what it takes to offer you anything substantial. Somebody who's not really confident in their ability to kind of revisit this connection and stick around for the long term. Somebody who is still in this process of kind of coming to terms with, coming to grips with what has happened between you, what is happening within them, within the world around them, even in their life, or even just their kind of perceptions of life in general. Kind of a multi-layered spiritual awakening that could be happening for this person. That's, it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to digest. It's a lot to try and figure out and navigate. This feels like somebody where, in addition to kind of whatever has gone on with you energetically and sort of these feelings that they have, this reconsideration energy, there's a lot which has shifted and changed within this person. It's almost like they can't go back to their old life. They can't look at the people or the belief systems or whatever they were participating in the same way. Somebody whose vibration has innately and almost automatically shifted to a wider or higher perspective, and they're finding it very difficult even to, and it's probably taking a lot of energy as well to kind of fit into the molds or the roles that they were filling before, that were occupying their time and space before. So somebody who has a lot on their plate that they're trying to really juggle and sort of navigate their way through, in addition to kind of this persistent and pervasive thought about having walked away from perhaps the person or the situation or an energy that was of resonance that might understand what they're going through, kind of the direction, this pathway toward a wider experience, a more intense and a more authentic experience in this lifetime. And they also say, I am a master of self-sabotage. So this is somebody who's well aware of their maybe ability or the habit to kind of run from wish fulfillment. There's a sense that even with all the intensity that might have been activated within this person, that could have been a little, frightening or a little unsteady for them, kind of caught them off guard. There was also this kind of parallel energy of this deep knowing, this deep soul recognition, this deep sense of you being kind of everything they were looking for that they never knew was missing from their life. This urge to really, almost like two magnets being really drawn towards each other, pulled towards each other. I feel even in the distance and the space between the both of you, there's still this very palpable connection, this very tangible draw to one another. You revisit each other, you orbit back around each other, even energetically in dreams, feeling each other, perceiving each other. There could even be some telepathy that is still going on between you. And as this perspective, these masks are really falling off for this person in terms of other people in their lives, other things they've surrounded themselves with. It's also providing that contrast that is showing them quite the opposite of what they have with them or around them compared to the potential that existed with you. Sort of this level of kind of awareness of each other, this level of communing with each other, even beyond, physical communion, but this energetic symbiosis between the both of you. And it's something that, kind of as the luster is wearing off from whatever this person had occupied their time or their life with before, there is this urge, there is this yearning to kind of revisit this connection, to move back toward this light and this illumination that they felt within, that was sparked within, that was awakened within them. Almost from the first moment that you interacted with each other on some level, or at some very kind of profound and pronounced point in time where there was this, very almost like a dramatic or a sudden or very apparent, not subtle, but very apparent kind of kundalini awakening, spiritual awakening, heart chakra activation that marks kind of a before and an after period in this person's life. And the further that they get into that after period, the more they are kind of drawn back and called back and are looking at that crucial intersection, that point where everything changed for them. They also say your sensuality is so alluring. So that's that energy of being equally, frightened and yet magnetized by this connection to you. They see you in a lot of ways as maybe even mirroring kind of the best qualities within themselves, things that are deeply embedded, things that they've kind of denied or acted in direct contrast to in their life. And so some fears of inadequacy could really be coming up for this person, feeling that they don't have what it takes, putting you on a pedestal of some sort, feeling the intensity of this connection and kind of the version of themselves that is peering through that on the other side of this choice and this change and this transformation, but doubting that they have what it takes to sustain that in the long term. And so somebody who's kind of staying within that comfort zone, trying to kind of stuff themselves back into this very kind of small life, this small existence, this small perception or way of looking at the world, which is proving very difficult because they've expanded in such a way energetically that it's almost a lot of effort and energy being invested in that to try and fit and hold on to and just kind of cling to those last, vestiges of things that are just naturally trying to fall away, that they are outgrowing. It's somebody who's almost trying to, continue to wear that sweater that is 2 sizes too small and continues to become smaller and smaller as time goes on. And it's becoming more and more uncomfortable for this person to try and fit in where they no longer belong, whether that's internally, whether that's, adhering to belief systems or even participating in a lifestyle or even a particular partner that they have chosen in the past that they've been with, and be somebody that they were married to. And, just as time is going on, it's just, they're becoming more and more clear about how this connection no longer resonates with them at a deep core level. They've seen that inclination of something else, something more possible, even just in sensation alone, not talking about, physical characteristics or any of that, but just at an energetic level, at a soul level. They're aware now of kind of a possibility, another layer, a next level compared to whatever they've experienced up to this point in time. And so it's beckoning them, it's urging them to kind of step beyond that comfort zone, take that leap of faith, step out into the unknown. But yet this is somebody who's, again, still with that self-sabotage energy. There's still this narrative or this critic within them that is trying to convince them they don't have what it takes to measure up. They can't sustain this long term. For some people, even kind of this narrative or this kind of storyline that they're telling themselves, that maybe this is all in their head, they just imagine this, it's too good to be true, or even belief systems that, that honeymoon period, that intensity would just, inevitably give way and there would be nothing left to kind of sustain the connection with in a material sense. And so any combination of those things, one of those things, all of those things could definitely be kind of themes that are holding this person back currently, although they seem to be somebody who almost feels imprisoned within their life, life and is kind of desperately looking out, kind of holding on to those bars and yearning, wanting that courage to just liberate themselves, to set them free in any number of ways. So I'm going to get the final 3 messages for you now, group 3, from this person's higher self. Okay, and they say, I want to make love to you. So again, this urge to kind of gravitate back in your direction, the intensity of this connection. Maybe in the past when you were, when you had a physical relationship with this person, that could have really sparked this Kundalini awakening for the both of you. Something that was very intense, very next level for them. A way of connecting with another individual that was kind of outside of even the scope of what they thought was possible. That was very appealing to them, but at the same time brought up a lot of these fears of just the intensity, the otherness of that. Something that they're thinking back on quite frequently. It feels like the time spent with you. If this is somebody that you were never in a physical connection with, this really feels like looking back at that crossroads, that decision point where you had the opportunity to kind of take things to the next level. For this person to kind of step out of fear, take a chance on this, take a chance on love, maybe accept a cup of love that you were offering. And they chose instead to move another route, to go back to another partner, stay within a comfort zone, or just kind of reject that love offer. But in hindsight, as time has passed, or kind of in the aftermath of that decision point, there is this yearning to kind of revisit that, this hoping that another opportunity will present itself, this desire that this person has to kind of go back in time and make another choice, but not really recognizing at this point fully that they have the potential to, create a different kind of future for themselves, create a different kind of future potentially in this connection as well, through kind of facing those fears head on, even fears internally within themselves, allowing these changes that they've been kind of pushing away or resisting or being very stubborn to, allowing these things to take hold, to take form, surrendering to that process more fully, in order to kind of optimize the potential for a fresh start, a coming together for the both of you in the future. They also say, I wanted to reach out and speak to you, but I always hold back. So that was coming up about, this person really wanting to kind of talk to you about things, wanting to, revisit this, but not necessarily feeling that they can put to words everything that they've gone through. A lot of confusing things might have happened. They still might be in this process of kind of wrestling with themselves between trust and kind of leaning into that fear of this all being an illusion, this all being in their head, this all being make-believe or too good to be true. And so you might be sensing this person kind of revisiting your dreams a lot lately, kind of meeting up with you in that astral realm, feeling them energetically around you, as there's kind of this urge, this yearning, this beckoning within them to just do something, make some kind of an action, move in the direction that their heart is leading them, as opposed to continuing to sort of resist and push against that, push in the opposite direction. And they also say, you are very special to me. I just want you to know that. So a lot of love that this person has for you, as much as the kind of changes that have stemmed from the two of you coming into contact in this lifetime may have been. You hold a very special place in this person's heart. They're starting to, as time is going on, they're coming more into a space of gratitude for what this connection has really sparked within them. As difficult as a lot of these changes, this widening perspective has been, the illumination is also starting to feel very refreshing to this person. Again, that concept of kind of the before and after, these two very distinct and marked periods of their life, or just their existence and their way of kind of viewing the world. They're moving beyond that energy of kind of wishing that they could just undo all of it and almost, go back to sleep, kind of, almost wishing that they may have never crossed paths with you. That could have been something that they, for a while entertained, but I feel like, as much as they might be holding on to kind of that stubbornness and that rigidity, that as things are kind of organically shifting for them, they're starting to recognize some breakthroughs. These, the symptoms and kind of the experiences of these activations and things, psychic gifts that might have come online. This feels like somebody who's starting to kind of acclimate to that. They're starting to kind of recognize how these things can uplift them, how they can be used to their advantage, how this can be kind of a widened perspective of themselves, of, you know, kind of seeing more clearly the horizon they are headed for, being able to make more deeply informed choices, and being more cognizant of what they're surrounding themselves with, who they are surrounding themselves with. Somebody who is starting to kind of feel that lightness, that alleviation from kind of the heaviness and kind of the merry-go-round of doubt and fear and trust. Somebody who's starting to move in rhythm with that, in tandem with that, in flow with that. And somebody who's really coming into this place within themselves of, again, starting to be very grateful for the experience that they have with you, of having met you, kind of trying to make the most of this opportunity, this period of time, this experience in their life. Somebody who's kind of moving beyond that energy of self-pity, maybe even starting to really take a deep look at themselves, recognize tendencies to self-sabotage, facing some of those shadows, and progressing past that point of self-pity to actually, you know, coming up with a concrete plan of action to do better, to change the results they're experiencing, change these tendencies, kind of negate some of these trends within their life in order to kind of cultivate new skills, new ways of being. Somebody who's being strengthened by the dynamic of this connection and through the experiences energetically that they have had with you. Somebody who is leaning more into the energy of this connection, you know, facing that fear, finding you in that heart space, and kind of looking at you as a source of solace for them energetically. For a lot of you, this is something they're not necessarily ready to speak yet out into the world, coming forth with any kind of a communication, but they're getting there. They're evolving into that. Somebody who's wrestling kind of multiple layers of fear within themselves, but making progress even in small, subtle ways to, at the very least, face that fear, to not run as far or as long as they have previously from things within themselves that are crying out for attention. And that includes feelings that they have for you that they may have run from and tried to suppress or deny. This is somebody who's starting to face those things head on and accept that first and foremost within themselves, which then opens up the potential to kind of ripple out into the material world of accepting, owning, and, you know, really declaring these things in a tangible sense. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. Group 3, this could be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got V, M, X, I, S, N, L, D, R, Q, U, and E. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.